Thank you for being here and supporting. On behalf of Josh and the Arukah team, we want to say thank you. We're very grateful that you're here. We want to make this a very, very fun night. People will have butter all over their hands and probably touching their neighbors' food, but we want to make it fun. So first, I want to let everybody know that we are live streaming tonight. And if you're my age or older, that means that people are watching from out in the world. So let's give them a big hand and wave and say, hey, how you doing? It's a good thing. Live streaming's cool. So let's make this fun. So I want to say, I'm going to say the word Arukah, and I would like everybody to repeat after me when I say that. As loud as you can, all right? Let's say that. Arukah. 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 So here's our fun tonight. Anytime you hear that word, Arukah house or Arukah, I want you to repeat that when you hear that. And you'll hear that throughout the night. It'll probably disrupt all the other speakers, but they gave me the microphone first, so I got to make the rule. One thing I want you to look on your table, and there's a little card, and it's a text card. And in this text card, you can donate via text at any time throughout the night. So just keep that handy. If you're led to, if you hear something from stage and you're led to give, grab your phone and text and you can give. If the Lord leads your heart at any time right in the middle of taking a bite of crab, you can still text and donate to the cause. It's an awesome cause. If you're live streaming, I believe there's a link if you're live streaming that you can click and donate that way as well. One of the most important things I want to announce is that the bathrooms are right outside the door, right across the hallway, so that's important. Don't forget the swag. There might be I thought they were going to put a slide up for the swag. The swag is right in the back, way back there. There is T-shirts, Arukah House T-shirts. There is... You guys are getting it, see? Good thing we have the back row. The back row tables are getting it. We also have Arukah beanie caps. So who wants a beanie cap? See how far I can throw this thing. There's a guy right there. Shoot. Who wants an Arukah T-shirt? We'll give it to that guy right there. That's good. The cool thing about Arukah is that when people see you wearing it, you get to tell the story, right? You get to tell the story of the redemption, love of Christ and what they're doing in this house to help people. The meaning is a Hebrew meaning to heal and restore. And for many of us, and I raise my hand first, we all have a redemptive story. I myself have my redemptive story, and I know that God can heal anybody and anyone at any time. Don't forget the silent auction in the back. 40 incredible baskets. The silent auction closes at 6:45, so make sure you outbid your neighbor. And a lot of people will wait till the last minute, but make sure you outbid your neighbor so you get some good stuff. There's coffee back there. There's movies. My wife will laugh when I say this, there's San Francisco Giant things back there. But make sure you do that. A lot of times I'll put $20. My wife will put $30 to outbid me. Sometimes I'll put $40 and she will put $50. We're a very competitive family. We got a huge raffle tonight, the biggest raffle Arukah House has ever had. So it's cool. So we want to thank the people that donated to the raffle. Look for Roland and Pam if they're here. There you go. Look, I see up over there. They're paying attention. They are doing the raffle tickets. Cost is $40 for an arm length, $100 for 3 arm lengths. The key to raffle tickets, and when they say an arm length, is you find the tallest guy in the room, right? You make him your friend, and you said, hey, I'm going to go buy some raffle tickets. Because my arm's not that long, I probably get 15 raffle tickets. But a lot of guys are a lot taller. You get 20 or 30 raffle tickets. That's just a thing you can do. All is fair and raffle. We have 4 incredible drawings tonight. A day on the lake for 8 people. Comes with a very cool ski boat, 2 jet skis. We also have the horseback riding experience at Zero Ranch for 5 people. It's going to be awesome. We also have $400 in eBay gift cards. We also have Pedigo electric bikes, a rental for 4 days for your family. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, don't forget your neon. Oh, there's a young man right there. Can you hold that thing up? Hold that up, young man. Don't forget to buy your neon headband, necklace, whatever they want to call it. We're going to have a really cool game later, and you want to make sure you get that. You can go back to the table back there with the swag table. Make sure you buy those. It's going to be a lot of fun right after we eat. It's a great game we're going to play. You're going to be able to win a camping set, a chair, a tent, a 6-person tent, a screened-in area, an axe-throwing game for the family. Husbands and wives, make sure your husbands know insurance is not included. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I want to encourage you to bid on all the baskets throughout the night. During your dinner, you can go up there and bid and bid and bid. Make sure you bid on the baskets. Get your arm lengths of tickets. Grab yourself a glow necklace. It's all for a great cause for Arukah House. Beautiful, beautiful. Last thing we're going to do is a live auction at the end. You'll notice on your tables there is paddles with the numbers of your tables. So this is very, very important. They came to me right before and said, there's not enough paddles for every single person. So when you lift it up at your table, make sure you're not obligating your neighbor to go on vacation with you, right? Just kind of pay attention who's doing the raffle, who's bidding, and we'll have people around here looking around and making sure the notes are taken for the bid. So, but that's going to be a lot of fun. There's some awesome things to bid on. Beautiful vacations, some golf clubs that are up here. I was telling a gentleman over here, guaranteed to take 5 strokes off your game if you let someone else play for you, probably. For me, that's the truth. But make sure you get ready for a fun night. It's an unbelievable organization that does unbelievable work for a community that sometimes gets overlooked or pushed to the side. And we all have a redemptive story, and sometimes we need a little extra help. And because of organizations like Arukah, some of these men and women would have no place to go. And throughout the night, you'll hear stories of the redemptive story, the story of what they have done for these individuals in their lives, and it'll wrench your heart. It'll put a tear to your eye. But more importantly, we want to wrench your heart as we go through the night and understand that each and every one of us has somebody in our family, has somebody in our life, or knows somebody that's struggling. So think about that throughout the night. No further ado, I want to introduce my brand new friend, Josh Jonas. Where's he at?
Right on over here.
Where's he at? Are you behind me? There you are.
I'm right here.
There you go, brother.
Thanks, Shoddy.
All right.
Look, I'm taking a video just to document this night. So cheer and say hello to everybody. Woo! Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I don't know why I did that. That was spur of the moment. Wow, what a night. You guys are all here. Thank you for being here. I mean, if you were here last year, you know we were in the Student Center, and now we came in here, and it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Hey, this dinner does not happen without a huge outpouring of help, and throughout the night, I'm going to be coming up and expressing gratitude to those that have made this night possible. And right now, I'd like just to highlight 2, not 4, 2. And one is my wife, Kelly. Where is Kelly? It's hard to see. I don't see her. She's probably outside. Oh, wait, there she is. All right, cheer on right there. Here she comes. Here she comes. She hates this, especially when you're clapping for her. I've been emotional all day. Holy crud. Kelly is amazing. She really is. She's the best wife. And one of her skills is at being administratively strong, which is good because I'm not. And she has done most of this as far as this night and organizing it and getting it going. So thanks, baby. Love you. I got to pull it together, folks. Holy moly. Seriously, I've been like teary all day. It sucks. And I talk like Shaggy, right? It's like, give me a Scooby snack, right? I mean, it's bad. It's bad. I actually can do a pretty good Scooby-Doo. I'll do that later. All right, here we go. The other organization I'd like to thank is Cornerstone Fellowship, where we're at. They are phenomenal, and when I presented that I wanted to go to the auditorium, they're like, ooh, I don't know about that, Josh, right? But I pushed my case, and Stephen Botts volunteered, who was our production, and they're like, oh, we're in. So they allowed us to do this. And if you didn't know, Arukah, they, oh, no. I'm going to be saying that so much, and that'll mess me up. So we're gonna nix it for mine. You can do it to other people, not me. I'm so ADD, that would throw me like, it would be the worst night ever. It would take 45 minutes to get through my talk, and you do not want that. That means your crab's not coming out. See, I'm already rambling, so that's what happens. But the reality is Cornerstone, I pastored here for many years, and when I started talking to them about this vision and about starting a nonprofit, separate from Cornerstone, right? I was like, oh, are they going to be upset? And they're like, no, we see this in you. And so they were super encouraging with the vision and guidance and love. And not only with that, but they gave the seed money to get this going, because it costs money, right? And they're like, hey, we want to gift you this money and support throughout the year so that you can do this, because we see the need. And so I will forever be grateful for Cornerstone Fellowship. They are a great church, and they're super missional-minded church. So thank you, Cornerstone Fellowship. All right, how many, raise your hand if you've been to one of these dinners before? Look at that. Give yourself a round of applause. You came back. Thank you so much. How many of you, this is your first dinner? You're like, I've never been. Oh my gosh, look at how many new people are. Give them up. These guys are coming. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're new and you're like, okay. And you might be just coming for the crab and the pasta. That's cool. I'm all right with that. I am totally good with that. And I'm so glad that you're here. Whether this is your fifth dinner or your first dinner, my hope and desire is that you would leave tonight with a better understanding of not only what Arukah is all about, but my hope is that you would partner with us. Partner with us and help us to further the mission and goals that Arukah has in helping men move forward towards a self-sufficient life. And that's our goal. And of course, right, that we would all be inspired by that men's stories that we hear tonight, and that you'll enjoy an amazing meal of crab and chicken and pasta and salad, right? That you're going to be just enjoying that and enjoying the conversations around your tables. And there'll be lots of times where you're going to be able to talk with one another, and this is supposed to be a fun event. So have fun, have a good time. Now, I'm not going to talk long because I want to get to the dinner and crack some crab. But what I would like to take the time is to just go over the what, the why, the how of why, and why we do what we do. Where we want to go in the future, and how you can be a part of this amazing adventure we call Arukah. And since there's so many new faces here, please enjoy this video. Imagine this. You've been in prison at San Quentin for over 25 years. And today is the day you're being released. You have no one to pick you up at the gate. You're handed $200. You're put on a bus and dropped off on a corner of downtown Oakland, in front of a liquor store where drug dealers and prostitutes are waiting for you to make bad choices. You're given 24 hours to meet your probation officer, or you go right back to prison. You got no cell phone, nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. Just you, your money, and downtown Oakland. My name's Josh Jonas, and my wife and I started Arukah in 2015. And Arukah in the Hebrew means to heal and to restore. And that's exactly what we want to do as an organization, is to help heal and restore men back to God and back into society. The men that we receive are primarily from being formerly incarcerated, but also from the homeless culture. We focus solely on men who are ready to move forward and make a difference in their lives.
So we provide a safe place to live. It's a Christ-centered program, so we provide Bible studies, we provide opportunity to be discipled. We also help people to get jobs, help guide them and help them to get into school if they wanted to get into school. But we also provide structure and responsibility and, how to do chores or work or, just how to get along with other people.
I think one of the biggest ways that Arukah really helped me was by creating structure for me. They were a huge source of accountability. And it was hard. It was hard for him. It was hard for myself. Like, not everyone is willing to give an ex-offender a chance, a shot, or open up their doors.
I've been pretty much what they would call chronic homeless for about maybe the last 22 years. Went through a lot of non-support by family and friends growing up. Got fed a lot of negativity, and the negativity is what I chose to run with. I never thought it possible for me to go back to school. I'm back in school now. I'm involved in a church now. I've got an appointment to be baptized. There's all these things are going on in my life right now that wouldn't have been possible if I wouldn't have been in the right places at the right time, and Arukah was definitely a good move for me.
We're more than just a house. We're here to heal and to restore. I believe that Arukah is. No, don't do it. Seriously, dude, it's gonna. You don't want to get your crab. It's cool. Just joking around. I'm serious. It's bad. It's bad. But I do believe that Arukah is unique. Not because we serve formerly incarcerated and homeless men. Many organizations do that. And not because we have a transitional house for men. There's transitional homes all over the United States. I call Arukah an opportunity program. And as we are in search of men who are coming out of prison and out of homeless culture, who have a high desire to do well in life, but lack the opportunities to do so. And I don't know your story, but I know mine. And when I look at my life, I was given incredible opportunities from the family I was born in, to the city and the neighborhood that I grew up, from the schooling that I was given, to the community that surrounded me, to the connections that I received. And most of these opportunities I had little control of. They just happened. They were just given to me. And I'll tell you, I don't feel guilty about that, right? That's the life that I was born into. And I'm okay with that. Now, I had to make the most out of those opportunities, right? Just because opportunities come to you doesn't mean that you make the most of those. So I had to make the most of my opportunities. I had to work really hard. I had to strive to do what was right and to move forward in my own life. But many of the men that come to Arukah, when you sit and you hear the stories, the environments that they grew up in, the trauma that they have endured, when society has written you off because of past mistakes that you've made? Well, most of us would probably give up. And just continue in the cycle that just keeps them stuck. We see it in society all the time. But not these men. Not these men. These men are incredibly strong and resilient. But what they lack is opportunity. So what we at Arukah have found, which was really a social experiment in the very beginning, but what we found is that when you put a person who has a high desire to move forward in life but lacks opportunities to do so into an environment where they were set up to thrive, most will do just that. They will thrive because they are so determined to do so. They see the opportunities and they seize it. And at Arukah, we are designed to give men opportunities and that most of them have never experienced. And if they work really hard and take advantage of those opportunities, they will thrive. Our solution is called a 4 corners of care approach in helping our guests move forward in life by focusing on their physical, their spiritual, their emotional, and their relational health. And when I say physical health, we're not just talking about the body and getting them strong and buffed out, right? Like that's part of it, right? We want them to be healthy and getting medical needs that they have. But we're talking about also those things that will help them move forward. So when the guy comes into the house, we quickly get them the basics, right? Food, shelter, clothing. And then we get them connected to social services, like for their medical and their GA and their EBT. And I believe government social services are good for when you're starting out with nothing and you need help getting going and moving forward. But at Arukah, we're working with them so that they don't have to rely on government assistance, that they can be self-sufficient and taking care of themselves. And that's why we connect them with good paying jobs where they can be self-sufficient when they leave Arukah. We teach financial management and budgeting and how to build your credit but not get into debt, right? And we help them with getting their social security card and driver's license. And if it's approved by our insurance, we allow them to drive our cars so that they can get to work and church and meetings and all the other things that they have in their life that they're trying to build. And many times when a donated car comes in, that will be their very first car that they own. We also work with addiction. And if a guy comes in and struggles with past addictions, by our home being a sober and living environment, and having men go to NA and AA, could get connected to a sponsor for support. Now, we're not a drug rehab. That's not our specialty, is drug rehab, right? But we're not designed to help men who are deep in current addiction. We are a place to come after that, after they've gone to the rehab, after they've put in the work and gained the tools to help support their addiction. When I talk about spiritual health, well, Arukah is Jesus-centered. That's our foundation. Anyone who comes into Arukah, you don't have to be a believer to receive services. Not at all. But as long as you're good with Arukah's foundation being in Jesus. Because we believe that when you give your life to Jesus, God's the one that does the life change in you. God is the one that restores and heals your life. And here's the thing. Our volunteers, our staff, the people that surround these guys have experienced that love from God and that compassion and that comfort and encouragement from God. And that is the same kind of passion and encouragement and love from God that they give to the men at Arukah. We also get them plugged into a local church of their choice, right? Everybody has different flavors, right? You're all from different churches, some of you, right? But we're all together. We're all one body. But we want them to get plugged into the church. We want them to go to the Bible studies. We want them to be around a support network and making good, healthy connections. And when I talk about emotional health, we hear stories of the men and we dive deep into what's going on into their lives and past hurts and the trauma. And then we get them connected with counselors and groups and materials that will help them so they don't get triggered later on. And this is actually one of the areas that Arukah is focusing on this year, is how do we help with the mental health part of things in life and the emotional health that these guys need. And when I talk about relational health, we want to give opportunities to building healthy community. Our goal is that each guy is surrounded with good people, that they have new friendships, so that when they leave Arukah, they're not alone. And they're not reliant on only the friendships that they built in the home with the staff and the other guys in the house. We do this by not only get them plugged into church and groups and classes, but we have them give their lives away by serving the community. And we partner them up with organizations like Tri-Valley Seek and Save and One Nation Dream Maker. Because it does something when you start to serve the community and start to serve those that are in need. You get your eyes off of yourself and you start loving other people. But it also does this. It helps you build community and connections and friendships with like-minded people. You know, all four corners are important to have restoration, healing, and health. But the problem is that our society and systems that are in place for receiving people out of prison and for those that are struggling with addictions are many times they're broken and they don't work. In the early 19th century, there was a study by scientists on addiction that basically shaped how society views addiction. The scientists took a rat and they put it in a cage, and what they did was they isolated it in a cage, and they put one had fresh water and one had heroin or cocaine in it. And almost all the time, the rat, when you put him in a cage like that, would then go and go straight for the drug water, and very quickly would overdose and kill itself. And this has shaped how we as a society for many, many, many years have viewed the addict. That addictions have these hooks, and the hooks are hard to break. And because that our society has created a system of shame and criminalization and incarceration, which isolates the addict. But in the 1970s, Professor Alexander looked at this experiment and he noticed something. He goes, well, the rat's all by itself. What if we did something different? What if we created something where there was social interaction? And so he created this thing called Rat Park. And Rat Park had all kinds of things they could do. They had loads of cheese. They had loads of friends. They had all these balls that they could roll around in and tunnels to crawl through. It was basically rat heaven, right? But they did the same thing. They put the fresh water on one side, and they put the heroin and the cocaine-laced water on the other. But here's the thing. The rats barely went over to the drug water. They didn't consistently stay with it. They preferred the fresh water. And he went from almost 100% of overdoses with an isolated rat to 0% of overdoses with Rat Park. What if addiction isn't about chemical hooks? What if addiction is about your cage? What if addiction is an adaptation to your environment? The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. Maybe we shouldn't even call addiction and instead call it bonding. Because we as humans will bond to where we are fulfilled, right? And if you have been traumatized and beaten down in life, you will bond to something just to give yourself some sort of kind of relief. It might be gambling, it might be porn, it might be your cell phone, and it might be drugs, just to get some kind of relief. Studies have shown that when people have healthy bonds, such as healthy families and healthy friendships, and they love their work, and they have some sort of healthy recreation in their lives, and they serve and they give away their life, and they're connected to God, and they have spirituality in their life, and when they have meaning and purpose in our lives, are far less to have addictions and far less to be involved in criminal activity. But what do we do with the formerly incarcerated when they get out? We have a system that makes it difficult to connect. Not only with jobs and housing, right? Those needs, right? But socially, to build solid community and friendship. In Arukah, we strive to give men these opportunities to create healthy relationships and meaningful work, to enjoy recreation and life, to serve and give their lives away, to have a space where they can connect to God on a very deep way, to figure out what their purpose is in this world. And what we find is that when they grab hold of the opportunities, they thrive. We don't want the men at Arukah to just barely make it when they leave. We want them to thrive and have every opportunity and connection to do so. When the four corners in these four areas are being addressed and worked on by the guy, and if they follow the staff's lead, we see men flourishing in life. Doesn't mean that life's yippee-skippy, because life is never yippee-skippy. It's hard sometimes. And they've got to work sometimes twice as hard. But the payoff in life is incredible. And we have seen it time and time again. It's awesome. And so we know that this works. We know that Arukah works. And that's why we want you to invest into Arukah. Invest into the vision of Arukah. And help us as an organization move forward. We need each one of you in this room to partner with Arukah in some way, shape, or form. With this many people in a room together, what could we do? What could we do together? The possibilities are endless. If we collectively come together and pool our resources for good. And resources, they come in different ways, right? Maybe you're a prayer warrior. Maybe you love to pray. Man, I am asking you to pray for Arukah. It's one of the reasons why I don't know if it's on there or not. Are there stickers or magnets on your table? Okay, if there's that, we put that on your table not just because it's fun. We put it on there. Well, it's a little fun, but we put them on your table because we want you to place them somewhere. We want you to pray for the staff and pray for the men and pray for the provision of Arukah. We want you to think about what's happening and get involved. Connections are one of our greatest resources. And maybe your connections to employment for our men, housings for our graduating men, connections to real estate, connections to other organizations, just me meeting people, connections to other generous people who would want to invest in Arukah. Volunteerism. We have always are looking for volunteers to mentor, people to teach life skill classes or Bible studies, or maybe you have a skill that Arukah needs that we don't even know about. We're looking for people who have expertise in stuff that we have no idea how to do. Maybe you're really good at wooing people, right? And you wooed some people to get to your table. Maybe you would woo somebody to help invest into Arukah or make these connections. And our goal is to build a team of counselors that would be available for the men at need. So maybe you're an MFT, and you're like, I got some pro bono I could do. I got some time that I could spend with a guy who's in need. We're trying to raise this team, like I said, about emotional and mental health, right? We want to help get our guys healthy, and we're raising up that team of counselors to do so. And of course, financially, right? Supporting Arukah. And here's the fact. Currently, our budget is $226,000 a year. And as you all know, we live in a very expensive area. And this goes towards rent and insurances and salaries and utilities and fundraising and onboarding the men, the continued care of the men while they're in the home, and then the aftercare if they'll allow us, we'll walk with them and we'll continue to care for them and be there for them. We rely mainly on the support of generous people. That's where the main part of our funding comes from. But we also have some businesses and churches and foundations and some small grants that have come in and some government money that doesn't have red tape, because I don't like being told what to do. No, I don't like the red tape. But Alameda County Supervisor David Halbert's here, and he, yeah, where's he at? He's right there. Here at your table, and he's been a great supporter of Arukah, and we're thankful for that. And so there's lots of ways to support financially, though. I mean, we're a 501c3, and giving monthly, that helps us with our budget, knowing what we got for the year coming in. So monthly support is amazing. But maybe you just want to do a one-time gift. That's fantastic. Thank you. Every dollar that comes in, no matter how large or small, matters. And I pray over that stuff, right? I pray for a blessing upon whoever gives, because I know what it takes to give something. Not always easy. So I want you to be blessed. And we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and there are many ways to give, from stocks to Bitcoin to life insurance policies to land to real estate or vehicles. Your financial support is incredibly important to not only continue to do the work of Arukah, but to help us as an organization move forward in expanding Arukah's mission. You know, I talk about my 200-year plan, and some of you are probably snickering because you've heard it before. I say it at every dinner, and I'll say it at next year's dinner. It goes like this. Many years ago, my wife and I were budgeters, we're planners, we're goal-oriented. We think about our first year and our 5-year, our 10-year, our retirement maybe. We'll see. And we were sitting and having one of these discussions, and I asked her, I go, well, honey, what is our 200-year plan? She's like, what are you talking about, 200-year plan? And I go, well, the idea is that after 200 years, everyone that we know, that we've invested in over the years, that we are friends with, people we've given money to, people that we've served, people that we go to church with, our families, everyone we know after 200 years will die. What's our lasting impact? Not that we would be known or that we'd have statues or accolades or anything like that, but would our love be felt after 200 years? Man, that got us thinking. That radically changed how we were doing things. We started thinking about what are we doing right now that would actually matter in 200 years? And that is actually how Arukah got birthed. Because we believe that Arukah is a 200-year plan. You're taking a guy who has very little opportunities, and we're giving him many opportunities to have a thriving life, to be a better husband, to be a better father, be a better employee, be a better friend, be a better servant for the community. And here's the thing. As I started planning this thing out many months ago, I kept on asking myself, how is this dinner going to be any different than all the other dinners? This is our 5th year of doing these. And we've been running the home for about 8 years. How is this going to be any different? And the thing that I was thinking about was that, because we get guys up here usually, if you've been to our dinners, we have interviews, we talk with the guys, all that kind of stuff, and you get to hear their stories and their progress and where they're at and where they've been. And I'm like, they're amazing. They're awesome. But I was thinking about all the alumni that had come through Arukah. And I know some of their stories of where they're at, and I'm still in contact with many of them. And so I started texting and calling a couple of them, and I said, hey, could you do me a favor? I go, would you create, we're having this dinner, I hope you can come, but would you create a video for us that would just kind of say how we helped you, and then where you're at right now, what's God doing in your life right now, so that we can just kind of hear, right? Because sometimes we don't see what's down 5-6 years down the road with some of these guys. And almost all of them are like, yeah, I could do that, no problem. And man, I got these videos in. They're fantastic. I think that's why I'm so weepy. I'm all jacked up. But literally, they're all great. And I told him, I go, hey, I don't want it to be perfect. I don't want perfection. I want it to be authentic. I want the authentic you, right? So it's not going to be like one of the videos that I just showed you, right? It's not going to be all polished and nice and all that kind of stuff. It's raw, man. We got one that's like a FaceTime one, and he's on the top of a building, right? And it's great. But here's the thing, what I know about this group, even though I may not know you. You all like to talk, and you're loud, and it's great, and you're supposed to be. But I don't want you to miss anything that happens. Some of these videos are from 1 minute to 5 minutes, right? And so what I've done for you is that I've put a little intro on the video. And so let me see. Daniel, show the intro and let them listen to what it is so they can get an understanding. Oh, yeah. We can clap to that. We can move to it. It's good. Oh, yeah. They're fantastic. And they're going to crank it. Okay. Those of you that are live streaming, thank you for being here, and you missed me dancing. All right, here we go. It's the same music. It doesn't change. It's the same music. It's the same logo. So when that happens, I need you to stop your conversation. I need you to get really quiet because something great's about to happen. Okay? You guys with me? All right. Thank you very much. So tonight, we're going to celebrate. That's what this night's theme is. It kept on coming to me to celebrate the alumni that have come through here and the opportunities that they have taken and they have run with it. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to celebrate. And I want you to celebrate with your friends around the table. I want you to enjoy this time with the food that we're about to receive. Tonight, may we be generous so that the future men of Arukah can have the same incredible opportunities as our alumni have been given. Well, thank you for coming. I am so honored that you are here and that hopefully you will enjoy on a Sunday night where you could be doing a lot of other things, but you're here, and I am thankful and I am honored. My info is on the screens, and we'll leave that up for a little bit. If you ever want to get to a coffee or grab a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner, or you can come over to my house and hang out, I don't care. I love getting together with people and talking and figuring out how we can partner, but also just hearing about your life. I also like to do that. So if you want to get together with me, email me, call me. I would love to spend some time with you and see how you can get involved with Arukah. All right, that's all I have. That's it. That's done with my notes. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, just thank you for this night. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for just that you would stir in the hearts of the people here to come. Thank you for the volunteers that are here and the staff crew. Or be with them in the kitchen. Protect them, Lord God. Lord God, would you stir our hearts with joy as we hear these videos throughout the night and listen to some interviews. And God, would you prompt us and tell us right now, Lord, that you would give us a number of what we should give. And don't let us be shocked, God. Don't let us freak out when we see that number, God, and when we hear that number. Lord God, may we have an amazing night, Lord God. We love you so much. We pray over this food that it would bless our bodies, Lord. In your name, amen. All right, well, thank you for coming. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming. My name is Richard McCarty. I am a Arukah alumni. I was in Arukah from November 2017 to January 2019. Before coming to Arukah, I experienced drug addiction, alcoholism. I had been to prison. I lost my mom, and I became homeless and helpless. While I was at Arukah, I learned how to have a right relationship with God. Dove into Scripture. got connected in community, served with the church, served with different ministries. Man, so much happened while I was at Arukah. A lot of ups and a lot of downs as well. But because I stuck it out and I did what they suggested, my life just flipped completely upside down for the good. And I'm really, really grateful for that. Arukah blessed me with a vehicle. They helped me get into my first apartment ever in my life under my name. And if it wasn't for Arukah, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Today I'm married. I have 2 kids, full custody of my daughter. We all live in the house that we're in today, our own place. I have 6 years clean and sober. I serve at my church. I'm a member of a church. I serve at my church. I serve with Seek and Save. And I'm an iron worker. I'm fully employed. I work 40 hours plus a week. I am a journeyman iron worker. I build custom fences on the side to support my family. It's also a hobby. I love building things. I love building custom fences. I'm debt free. Man, there's so many things in my life today that I could tell you guys. I told Josh one of my favorite songs is Million Little Miracles, because every time I hear that song, I just think of all the things that God has done in my life. And I could sit here and continue to tell you so many things. But I'll just end with that. Thank you guys very much for your support. Thank you for supporting Arukah, for those who supported it while I was there. And I just want to encourage anybody that's here just to continue to support Arukah, because you never know whose life you're going to change next. Thank you guys.
Hi, my name's Jeff. I am an Arukah alumni, and I entered into the Arukah program 2020 after spending 21 years in prison. And I found that the Arukah program was of great benefit for me. Number one, it provided a safe environment for me to transition back into civilian life, and it also provided a great number of resources for me to get employment. Within a month, I was working and I was saving money, and I stayed the entire length of the program 1 year. And by that end, I had accumulated a pretty good bank account savings, which allowed me to find my own place and basically become a normal tax-paying, law-abiding citizen. The program also provided great contacts, so I was able to establish a support network, which I still use to this day. And I would have to say that there probably isn't a better program, at least for transitioning from prison to civilian life again, better than the Arukah program. I want to give all credit and thanks to Josh and Mark, who accepted me when I wrote my request from prison. And I feel very blessed and lucky to have had that experience. And I'd like to say that also that the continuation of that program is critical to keep that facility open, because there just isn't a whole lot of them out there. And I'm really hoping that by any means necessary, lawfully abiding, of course, that we can continue to keep this program going. It has done great benefits for me. It allowed me to fulfill my plan and my purpose that I had planned out for myself while I was in prison. And I will say this, that anyone who's determined to succeed, Arukah is there, but it's really up to the individual themselves how much they really want it. And for me, I really wanted it. As you can see, I'm currently working as an industrial commercial refrigeration mechanic. We're doing a pretty big job here, putting all these condensing units up, running the piping. We've insulated it now. There's 6 75-ton evaporator coils that are going to cool essentially what is a giant wine cellar in which they drive forklifts in and out. But this is just one of many jobs that I do. But I have to say that Arukah got me my start. They even bought me my hand tools to get me started. So I am forever grateful to the program, to Josh, to Mark, and to all the donators who help keep this program running. Thank you for your time, and it has been a pleasure.
My name is Jeffrey Cole, and I am an alumni. I ended up coming to the Arukah House in 2021 and stayed for a year. When I got there, there's a lot of things I found out. Basically, it was Bible-based, which I really loved. There was a job. They was able to get me a job, and I started working for the home there. I was able to get my driver's license there, and I haven't drove in 21 years. They also helped me with social services, and I was able to connect with them people and start really getting some extra funds to try to survive. Because again, you didn't know I was released to the Arukah home after doing 21 years. And it was a real struggle, but yet and still, because the guidance and the way they was affording me opportunities, they made it easy for me. Also there, I was able to participate in a little bit of computer at the home. Outside of the job, I was also able to get part-time into a budget situation that Miss Jonas was teaching, and things like that, just to kind of grow. I stayed there a year. After being, in that year, I started making money, so I was saving up my money. So I launched out. When I left there, got my own place, got a job, got in ministry. But another thing that the Arukah House afforded me with, they afforded me with relationships, different people in the community, churches, other people that had came through the program and helped me with. So it was just truly a blessing there. And also, one thing that I really enjoyed, after I'd done the year, I told Josh, could I get a letter of recommendation? And he wrote a letter to the board. And the board member, and because of the job, because of the structure of the home, the way it was operating and working for me, they granted me a parole take me off parole after 1 year. And so again, got my own place now, got my car, got my driver's license, got friends, got a ministry I'm in, especially the ministry I'm so grateful I'm in, because all I do is evangelize. I go to Strong Ridge, Walmart, and Target all day long, all throughout the day, 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and it is a blessing. So with the friendships I have here, I'm just so grateful to come to the Arukah house. So I just want to thank everybody for what they have done for me while I was there, and just was patient with me. And now what I would like to say for the donors, I'm asking and encouraging anybody and all of you to continue to donate to this vital cause of a home like this. Because, I didn't tell you, but I already had done 19 years before the 21. So it wasn't easy at all. But again, the leadership, the guidance in the home, the opportunity they afforded me with, the chances they took on me, it just gave me, it was just a challenge, but it gave me stamina to continue to want to do the right thing. And after a year and a half, ain't no looking back, my friends. I'm moving right on with my life. And I just thank these people. I'm connected with them still. So, again, thank every one of you. So I'm asking you, it's important. Donate to programs like this, because it's all kind of other people coming home. They're lifers, and they need the opportunity and the right placement to be in. So I thank you for my time right here. My time is up, my friend. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
That was so good. Oh my gosh. Hey, I wanted to thank, since you guys, I have your attention, we have had incredible donors for this dinner. It's pretty amazing how much of the outpouring is. In fact, most of those baskets, all of the baskets that are back there, right there, have been donated. That's pretty amazing, right? Like, we didn't spend any money on that. They've been donated, and so I want to encourage you throughout the night. 6:45, that silent auction ends, right? So make sure you're bidding on them. There's so many. Like, go all the way across there. Even that kayak, you could win a kayak. So you want to make sure you're doing that. But they're pretty amazing. You'll see on the slide and on the reel sometimes the logos of those that have donated. Make sure you go to their businesses. Make sure you eat at their places and visit them or use their products or their business because they have supported us. I'd like to thank the volunteers. We have over 50 volunteers serving your tables right now. Let's give it up for them. It's amazing. Be kind to them. They got to go all the way over there to all the way over here. So be kind to them, and they're giving up their time. We've got volunteers from Off the Street Ministries to Granada High Honor Society, right? I mean, we put a call out to them, and a bunch of people started coming out. It was great. So very thankful for all the volunteers. The few I'd like to highlight, Johnny Lujan, our auctioneer and also our MC. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. Johnny didn't know us, but he does an incredible ministry up in the Sacramento area of Freedom Through Education. They run very large campus homes and for formerly incarcerated. And so I'm learning to glean stuff off of you, Johnny, because I'd love that for Arukah myself. And so he was so generous to donate his time tonight. So thank you, Johnny, for doing that. I appreciate you. Our amazing production team that puts all this stuff together, Mr. Stephen Botts and his crew of 8. It is a big deal to go from that room where you need 2 people to where you need 8 people on cameras and all these things in the slides. And Stephen makes it very, very easy, and so does his team. So thank you, Stephen. All right. I need you to help me with something. we're going to thank Mr. Chad Bayless, who is the chef for tonight. So I have to get you clap loudly, you scream, you yell his name out. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Thank you, Chad. And his wife, Miriam, is here working. Oh, wait, is Chad there? Right there, there's Chad. Give him up. Thank you, Chad. We appreciate you. His wife, Miriam, is running all the staff and the crew. We got Jen Moody, who's running like our timekeeper, and we are behind, so we're speeding things up. And she's like, come on, Josh, let's go. And then we've had some sponsors for the dinner. And one of them is our gold sponsor of $1,000 of Payne Drywall, Mr. Eric and Scarlett Payne. Where are you at? You're right there. Thank you so much. Thank you for your friendship. I love these guys. They're fantastic people. And then also we have a platinum sponsorship of $5,000 from Alameda County Supervisor David Halbert. Where's David Halbert? Right there. Thank you so much. Thank you for who you are. I don't know, did you want to come up or something? Or David can come up. He's a supervisor. I can't say no. So it's kind of like.
Josh, you're amazing. I got a little surprise for you right there.
I think we got a mic for him. Oh, nice.
$5,000, my friend.
Is that on? Yeah, it's on.
All right.
Well, thank you, David, for your sponsorship and for the check, and that's pretty amazing. I don't know if my bank will take
The bank will cash that check, I promise you.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I just got to tell you, from the moment I heard what you were going to do years ago, to the time that I got to visit you a few times at your house, to the times that I've had you over at my office, to the times that the people that you serve and heal and restore, that I have seen without fail doing an outstanding job. You're doing God's work, my friend. Anything I can do to help you, and I just got to say, I know that government cannot do it by itself. It needs good people like you. We'll screw it up every time without good people like you. And so I want to make sure government partners with people like you, man.
Yeah,
God bless you.
I appreciate you, Dave. I appreciate our friendship. Love you. And I'm going to take that. Can you hold that for me? Okay, thank you. David's an amazing man. And I got to tell you, just because he's a politician, don't steer away from him. Because he's a godly man. He's doing well for Alameda County. He came to me before he got elected to be supervisor. And he asked me questions about how can we make this better? I need ideas on this stuff. And he came to Arukah, right? That's never happened to me. I've never had that happen. So this man right here wants to make Alameda County better. And he's doing some really good work. And I believe you're right that government can't do it alone. And here's the thing. I can't do it alone either. Arukah can't do it alone. There needs to be partnerships between the two, right? Of nonprofits and government as coming together and fixing this problem. And so that's what we're trying to do. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. And then I'd like to bring up a couple of people. Roland, Ronnie, and Eric. Where you at? If you can come up. There's Roland. Roland is with Tri-Valley Seek and Save, and he's one of the groups that the men partner with to go and serve the community and build relationships. And so I just wanted to, and he's selling raffle tickets, so you don't want to pass that up. And he's got big arms, very, very long arms. So take it away.
Hey, real quick, if you've not bought your raffle ticket, my wife and I are ready to see you right after. You just point me out, and I'm coming right over. Hey, a couple things. Here's the core. The gospel of Jesus Christ, followed by discipleship. That is Tri-Valley Seek and Save. We work mostly with moms with kids that are in trouble, and we're able to come alongside because of what Christ provides. But one of the things he provided was an operation that does the same thing for men, and that is Arukah House. And just a quick illustration of that, we both have as a foundation that Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. Both organizations stand on that. We stand on the gospel. We stand and say, we can't do it without God, without Christ. Just a little example. I literally see this man 100 days a year. Him and his wife, my wife, so just getting together. And here's what happens. Last Thursday a.m., we had a mom that had called in and said, hey, I just took in 3 kids. I don't have the resources, the bandwidth. We go by and see Josh. We're able to load her truck just full of things so that she could take in these 3 young kids and help them. At the same time, I said, hey, Josh, there's a mom. She needs a bed. He said, no problem. Put it in your car. I had another missionary who went out. We sat, we talked with her. And next thing we know, we're talking through the gospel. She accepts Christ. And so she came to Christ at that very moment. But I have to say, the number one thing we're able to do is to be blessed by Arukah House. The men, you, your wife, all the different resources. We're so fortunate to come alongside and walk together for the cause of the gospel.
Awesome. Thank you, Roland. We love it. For those of you that don't know, we get 5 days a week from Costco. They give us their returns and they donate to our program. So we get in mattresses and clothing and all kinds of stuff that you couldn't even imagine that we get in. And it's awesome. And those mattresses, a lot of times, Roland will call me up and we're like, yeah, let's go, let's grab it, let's give it away. And so the guys do those pickups, and it also helps provide for the home. But it helps. We give a lot away. We just like, hey, God blessed us with us. We want to give this away to help somebody in need. And so that's what we do with Roland, man. So, you want to introduce Ronnie?
I do.
Okay.
I want to introduce the man, the myth, Ronnie Forbes. This man is the foundation of Jesus can move anything. He is the one that's inspired me and Josh personally to say it's all in God's care. And it's through him and his power. Every week, there's about 5,000 pounds of groceries that show up right outside this door that goes out to at least 100 families every week. Thank you, One Nation Dream Makers, and Jesus, and you, Alameda County Food Bank as well. There you go.
I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to say, to God be all the glory all the time. The Bible says in Corinthians, it said, blessed be the God of all comfort who comforts us with, blessed be the God of comfort who comforts us with comfort so that we can turn around and comfort others with the comfort in which we've received. I just paraphrased it.
Yeah, I did.
Formerly incarcerated. Formerly homeless, formerly addicted to drugs and alcohol. But God has set me free, and now I want to do everything. One Nation Dream Makers wants to do everything that we can to participate to help others get set free and to stay free.
Absolutely.
So Josh and I had coffee last Wednesday, so he's real with this. If you guys want to meet with Josh, just give him a call. We had coffee last Wednesday, and we talked about different phases and different things that are going to take place with Arukah. And I just want to be a part of every phase of helping to restore people's lives.
I love that, man. I love that. Yeah. What Ronnie is doing, like Roland said, is absolutely amazing. His organization fills our home with food. That is not where our budget hurts, is in food, because he fills it up, and not just like canned food. It's like meat and veggies, and these guys. I tell them, I go, you're gonna get tubby. When they come in, I go, hey, watch out, you're gonna get tubby. And they go, oh no, man, I'm fit. And then all of a sudden you see them about 3 months later, and they're like. So I told you, I pre-warned you. And so we're super thankful for Ronnie. The guys, before they get jobs, Ronnie allows them to come in and serve. And so you got this godly man and his team just pouring into these men. And it's fantastic, and they love it. And he gives them opportunities to meet people that they would have never met before. And sometimes that turns into jobs. Sometimes that just turns into friendships. So Man, thank you so much, brother. I love you. All right, you two can sit down. You can get more raffle. Who needs a raffle ticket? Anybody? Anybody need?
Hugest arm pull you'll ever have. It's huge. It goes way out. It's $40. Raise your hand if you want some. My wife and I will come find you.
All right, thanks, guys. My last person I liked, and not least at all, is Mr. Eric Payne. And I've asked Eric to come, and I know there in a group this size, there are many business owners. And you're sometimes looking for to hire people. And Eric, I'll let you tell what you do, but Eric is one of our partners that has hired one of our guys recently in the last year or so, right? Yeah. Okay, something like that. And he took a chance on him. And so I've heard the story before, but I'm going to hand it over to Eric and let him tell you how it went and what he's experienced by taking an Arukah guy for appointment.
I'm Eric, EC Payne Drywall. We do metal framing drywall for commercial stuff. So it's probably been about 7 months. We're thinking 6 or 7 months. And we had lost our labor, so I called Josh, and this is the best part of it, and this is what I appreciated the most, is when we first started out, I called him and asked him if he had anybody, and he told me no, that he didn't have anybody that was ready to fill the position, which to me was the most important thing of the whole thing, because he didn't just try to pawn a guy off on me, okay, which is, to me, is what I respected the most. So time went on, and we didn't fill the position, we were kind of making things do, and me and Josh talked again and said, hey, I got this guy. So we said, okay, we'll get it going. Ray is the guy who's working for me. He comes to the shop, and I look at this guy, and he's a monster. He's a big boy. And I wasn't expecting that because all my laborers that I've had before that have been little skinny, kids. So I'm looking at this guy and go, wow, he's a fit. So, everything worked out good. I mean, the one thing that I can honestly say is that and I've met other guys that are going through your program and stuff like that, and they want to succeed. They aren't there because they need the paycheck. They have a place to live. They're doing good, but what they want is they want to succeed. They want to get out and they want to make a difference in their life. And to do that, you're in the grind. You're showing up every day. I mean, we're starting at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning doing these things, and he doesn't miss time. He's there as long as I want him, as much as I want him, no arguments, no anything whatsoever. Phenomenal guy. If I had 100 of them, I would be 100 times more successful. So all I would challenge you guys, take the chance, because to me, it wasn't even a chance. I didn't even look at it like that. I looked at it as I'm filling a position at the time. Don't take that the wrong way, but I'm filling a position. I need a guy. He's a good. But I will tell you this, he has been one of my best employees I have ever had. And I've been in these trades for over 30 years. So take the chance. Go out there and do it. It is worth it 100%. You are going to find guys that come through this program that are their life is to get their life back on track and get things rolling. And that's what we want as employers, So it'll make it good. I mean, I kind of think about this, in conclusion with this, I hope I've changed Ray's life, but I know he's changed mine. So.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Love you, Gary. When we start working with the guys on employment, when they're ready to do that, we look at their entire life to see what their skills are, what their aptitudes are. Are they mechanically inclined? Are they not? Are they administratively inclined? And we really want to not just have them have a job. That's great to get a job. You can get jobs almost anywhere. What we want to do is get career jobs where they can get going in life and actually make some good money, but really enjoy the work that they're doing. That's where, when you enjoy the work that you're doing and you're thriving, dude, that makes life way easier, right? Even if it is a grind, you enjoy it. And I've talked to Ray, and he loves working with Eric and stuff. And so if you're a business person who owns a company that might have a fit for some of our guys, give me a call. Let's have a coffee. I want to hear what your business is. I want to hear what your needs are, right? Like Eric said, he came to me, and Ray was in the program at that time. but he'd only been there for a couple weeks. I didn't know much about Ray. And I didn't want to just stick him with somebody, right? I wanted him to be an asset to the company. So if you want to grab a coffee, if you want to talk sometime on the phone, please call me up, and I would love to do that because those connections are valuable for a guy's success and then moving forward. All right, I think that is it. God bless. Enjoy your meal.
Hi, my name is Raymond McCarty, and I'm a former resident of the Arukah House. Through the Arukah House, I've been able to plant my feet firmly in the community with a job, attending church regularly, and volunteering through multiple ministries. I'm able to live a happy life now, take care of a family. I have my own apartment, and I'm expecting a baby. Man, I can't wait. Thank you, Arukah House.
Hello, my name is Wesley Stanfield. I'm an Arukah alumni 2022. Prior to Arukah, I was using drugs and I was working on my second decade in prison. I had lost my family, they'd given up on me. In the chapel of prison in Tracy, California, I found the Arukah pamphlet. I paroled to Arukah 2 years later. I was loved and well taken care of while I stayed there in the Arukah house. I was taught to interact with the community, and my life was totally transformed. Jesus changed my heart in prison, and Arukah, thanks to all of you sponsors and donating, was able to complete my transformation, and I was able to integrate back into society successfully. I will forever be grateful to all of you who donated and gave to make Arukah possible for people like me to come out of prison and get their life together. Now I have all my family back in my life. I've even been able to start my own family. And I'm still working the same job that Josh was able to connect me with. And I'll be forever grateful to all of you who were able to selflessly give and make this possible. Thank you.
Wesley is amazing. He works for, he installs elevators. Think about that. That's pretty cool. Another group I need to thank is my board. I have a board of directors that is absolutely amazing. They are talented, and they're way smarter than I am. So if you're on the board, I'm going to call your name. If you're here, I need you to stand on up. Mr. Andy Byron, where's he at? We got Jane Jewell, who's in Cancun. Jane, if you're watching, yeah, Cancun. I know, it's good. No, it's awesome. Kelly Jonas, my wife. Give it up for her. We got Susan Cleary. We got Diana Sackett. We got Pamela Hawkins, who is watching on our live stream. Hi, Pamela. We miss you. We're sorry you're stuck in the snow. We got Ryan Chance. He's around here somewhere. There's Ryan. And Natessa Martinez. And let me tell you something. Where's Natessa? She's going to be up in a little bit, but she's right there. Okay, we're not going up yet. Anyways, this board that God has given me is absolutely incredible. They allow me to do what we need to do. They are not stringent on me, but they also keep me in line when I have a weird idea, right? Like they go, oh, you might need to think about that. But they're super supportive, and they're super smart, and their guidance is valuable, and they're godly people. So let us thank the board. I also want to thank my staff. We have Mark Camilla. I'm not sure where you're at, somewhere around here. Mark Camilla is over there. He's our house manager. We got Stuart Steves. Where's Stuart Steves over there somewhere? All right, Stuart. He's our house facilitator. And Nafa, he's right there. He's a house facilitator. And then we got Natessa Martinez. She is our director of strategic operations and program development. So let's give it up for our staff. And that's all I got. Enjoy your crab.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Vaden, and I am an Arukah alumni. I was released from prison in on December 7th, 2017. I spent 15 years incarcerated for a crime I committed while I was 16 years old. And when I was released, I was very, very, very blessed to be able to parole to Arukah. Arukah was a program that really encouraged pursuing God, really encouraged living a life that was clean and that honored the Lord. And that was exactly what I was looking for. While I was incarcerated, I gave my life to Christ, and I was living for the Lord while I was inside. And my whole thing getting out was I got to be released to a godly, positive environment. And that's exactly where I was released to. Arukah was there for me in some of my most difficult times of transition, whether it was looking for a job, looking for a church, needing counsel, needing accountability. Arukah was there every step of the way. When I got out and I ended up finding a job, Arukah was there to give me a car or allow me to use their car. When I needed tools and work clothes, Arukah was there. Josh was walking me or taking me to the store and buying me, telling me, hey, whatever you need, John, just go ahead and get it. Arukah was there every step of the way. I finished Arukah after 12 months of being in the program. I then transitioned to another program that helped pay my rent for 6 months. And while I was in that program, I ended up getting a really good job. As a supervisor. And because of the pretty good money I was making, I was able to move on my own. In 2019. I was able to move on my own in Hayward. And ever since then, I've been living by myself in my own apartment. Also, what has been happening as of late, I got promoted within that company. Now I am an assistant superintendent for a general contracting company and soon to be superintendent. I was just made aware that I'm being called in this coming April, next month, to be promoted again to superintendent. And so I've just been so blessed by the Lord and how he has just continued to lead and guide my way out here. I was just in Africa last August on a 10-day missions trip. That was an incredible experience. Excuse me. And it all started with Arukah. It all started with me having a soft landing when I was released. I wasn't released in released to a lot of these other transitional programs that are in some sketchy areas, pretty negative areas. I was released into an environment that was conducive towards me turning my life around, pursuing God, being serious about my relationship with Christ. And so just thank you all for all your support. Thank you all for giving your resources, giving your time, giving your energy, giving your money. It is doing so much good in the lives of men that are being released from prison. If you can continue to give, it will be an incredible blessing to those who are coming after me, who are continuously coming into the program. Just thank you. God bless you for your giving, for your support. And just God bless you all.
I could dance to that all night long. Yes, I could. I would like to introduce two very special people to me. Mr. Nafa, right here. He is our house facilitator. He's also come through the program. He graduated. And Mr. Natessa Martinez, who we have just hired part-time. Oh, yeah, you got to give it up for Natessa. Oh, wait. What are we saying? I'm getting people in the back. Yeah, silent auction is closed. It was closed at 6:47, I believe. Silent auction is closed. So these two people are amazing, and they are helping with Mark and Stuart to lead the men. And like I said in my talk, Natessa has come on, and we've known each other for a couple of years. And when I said, hey, we need some help in these areas, and she said, all right, I'm in, which was pretty awesome. So I just wanted you guys to hear from them. They're just going to talk for just a little bit. Enjoy your crab. You can still eat and stuff like that. And I'll hand it off to you two. There we go.
Hello, testing. Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right, hello, everyone. Thank you, Josh, for that warm welcome. And really, Nafa should be getting way more cheers than I have, so I want to hear at the end, okay? Just hold your applause now. But I'm going to expect a roar at the end of his speech. So anyhow, hello, everyone. My name is Natessa Martinez, like Josh said, and tonight I'd like to introduce you, actually, to Nafa. Nafa Fio has been involved in Arukah for about a year and a half now. Many of you may be familiar with who he is and have heard his story on various platforms. But he first came to Arukah as a resident, re-entering society after many years in prison. He's always been an asset to Arukah, and now this shining star of a human, he is definitely a shining star, is a successful part of the leadership team at Arukah. Like Josh said, he's also part of the staff team. He's a leader in our home, at Arukah. Sorry, I don't live there, just clarifying. But in our home, and he's also a leader in his community. So welcome, Nafa.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hello, everyone. Like Natessa said, my name is Nafa. And I want to share a little about a great friend of mine, Natessa. Natessa has been with Arukah now for about 8 months as the Director of Program Development. During her time at Arukah, she has helped us, Arukah staff, understand another way of approaching our job assignments and how to improve the Arukah program for the men who are coming in straight out of prisons or homeless and just looking for a second chance. She has been a great addition to our operations team, and I am so great to have her as one of our leaders in the Arukah program. Thank you. We would like to share a little about our calling and what we feel God has asked of us from our lives. For me, I've always felt like my calling was to help people, just like many of y'all. This crowd is very great. There's many great people out here. Just want to let y'all know. Also, I'm scared, so just want to throw it out. Okay. As a young child, I have always been like a big brother to my friends. I think y'all heard my story from last year. I was a gang member. I had a habit of always wanting to help those people who cannot help themselves. I feel like God put me here on the earth to be a defender of those people, the voiceless. When I was younger, I had a speech impairment because I had a hearing problem. So I couldn't communicate that well with people for quite some time, until I had a surgery on my ears and involved myself in some important self-help groups that helped me with my growth and gain deeper understanding about life. I wanted to share my story and what God has done in my life, because who I am today would not have been possible if it wasn't for the love of God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Even with this fear of standing in front of a huge, wonderful, beautiful audience, I felt like God was always telling me to challenge myself and face my fears. With God's constant presence in my life, I feel like the more I speak out about what God has done for me, the more I can connect with people and help them deal with the struggles. I used to be a menace to society for a long time, and now I minister to society while I'm at work. With strangers, or just conversating with guys in the Arukah program, or even with my family and friends, I am not to admit how much I love God and what He has done in my life. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing, Nafa. So I'm going to share a little bit about my calling, but I want you to know that your money and your donations or any of your support that you give to Arukah doesn't just fulfill the call and mission that God has on the lives of our residents, but it has direct impact to my own life. And so Nafa's calling sort of complements my own in a way, which is why I'm very confident that we're both at Arukah at this time. So my journey with Arukah started a few years ago. Josh and I had a mutual client. He's one of the men that you saw on a video today. And And I was in the Tri-Valley doing a lot of different work with other nonprofits. Tri-Valley has always had a place in my heart, and never did I think that I would be back here. But last year, Josh and I had coffee, one of the famous coffee dates, and at the end of it, he asked if I could come and be a part of Arukah, and like he said, I was ready for it. But my journey also with this group of individuals began probably when I was 18, so about a little over 20 years ago. I worked in a juvenile hall in my city, and that was something I never knew would come full circle at this age in my life, but God knew that. But since I was young, I've always felt the intense desire to advocate for the underdogs or the outcasts of society. I also call this gutter work, and I'm very inspired by Mother Teresa's work in the gutters of Calcutta. That gutter work is here in your backyard. Many of you know about it. You're aware of it, but every corner, almost every corner of Livermore, the Tri-Valley, has someone in need. And like Arukah means to heal and restore, the need to heal and restore is a human need. So I want us to identify what we know we need in our lives to heal and restore, and know that people out there, our brothers and sisters, need that as well. Anyhow, sorry, I'm going to get on a tangent about that. But there is opportunity everywhere. And so since God knew that he would be bringing me to this place today at Arukah, he blessed me with 5 uncles to harass me and raise me in my life. And one of those uncles has a very, very similar journey through alcohol and drug addiction, in incarceration, in homelessness. And sometimes if you have an addict or someone in that space in your family, there's a very, very powerful statements that I held on to, which is the addict too close to reach. And so as my uncle was too close for my family to reach, only God changed his life, literally. I'm now close enough to reach different guys in this space. So I truly believe that our men in American society are needing more support. The systems are not actually completely for them. We need government and nonprofits, private individuals to support this work. So here I am, hoping to help out Arukah.
Awesome. Thank you, Natessa.
So we're going to learn more a little bit about Nafa and his story.
Thank you. I came to the Arukah program about 1 year and 5 months ago on October 21st, after serving 10.5 years in prisons. Right away, I felt welcome and loved by the Arukah staff members. Along the first few months, I gained a community and met with great men of God through church and the Men of Hope breakfast meetings that goes on through the Tri-Valley once a month. I also got a job, something I didn't have much of in my younger years. And on March 6th of last year, I spoke at the last craft fair about my growth and current situation. And in July, I graduated from the Arukah program. I also became part of the Arukah staff, and as a house facilitator, it has been a great pleasure being able to help men like myself who are coming out of prisons or from the streets, help them improve their lifestyles and prepare for them a better way of living through Christ, and guide them with programs that the Arukah House provides for them and are available to them through the wonderful community of the Tri-Valley. In December, I also became an assistant operational manager at my job in Oakland. God has put me in a great position in my life today that I had never imagined in my younger years or thought I would ever be in. And that is learning to face challenges and accepting responsibilities, and also facing my fears. This is one of my fears, just standing in front of 500 people. These are things that I used to run from. Now I tackle them head on, and it's all because I put my trust and faith in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because if it wasn't for God, I would still be running from my responsibilities and facing my fears and challenging myself each day.
Thank you, Nafa. So that was just a quick recap of where he is, but we've asked Nafa, or I've asked Nafa, he's also agreed to brag about where he's at today very excitedly, so let's hear it.
Thank you, Natessa. So the Arukah program provided for me a whole lot of love from day one. The staff from the top, with the president of the Arukah program, Mr. Josh Jonas, to the house managers, Pastor Mark and Stuart, and staff member Eric, including yourself, Natessa. Thank you so much. and the guys that have gone through the program and graduated from the Arukah House. You all played a big part in my re-entry to the community and society. The Arukah program has helped support me financially and mentally, and not just help support me, but also help support my family through difficult times and with its resources. The Arukah program taught me great values through its weekly Bible study with staff member and good friends of mine, Eric. Eric also taught me how to save money. Thank you so much, Eric. The Arukah House gave me a great community, and you all are part of my community. And I thank you all for being a part of my journey. With that said, now I'm gonna go off the script. You know, I just want to say it's been a great year and a half for me since I've been at Arukah. I remember before I came to Arukah, I used to talk to a great friend of mine who's in this room, Daryl, and I didn't want to come to Arukah. There was a couple times I didn't want to come, and me and my friend Daryl had a talk while incarcerated that to stick with Arukah. You know, that's going to be the best decision you ever make. I'm like, no, it's so difficult. How about let me just go to a sober living house? They were like, no, why you want to be in a place full of people that just going to bring you back to that old lifestyle you're leaving behind? So I stuck with it, you know, and because I stuck with that decision, great things has happened in my life. You know, I just share a lot of it. And it wasn't easy, even though God provided for me the many blessings. It was because I believed in God. And the only way to excel in life, you gotta believe and give your faith in God. You see, I used to think I was a weak person. I used to want to hide behind the stages and just guide people through that way. I never wanted to be out in the open and just, you know, like brag about, look, this is what I did for you. You know, I was that one just like to give advice and help the person make it better, whether it was in the streets or just in the prison or just when I'm working, you know, in Oakland. We're in the Fruit District, and Fruitville District, and it's very difficult to be out there, you know, just giving advice to people that just seems lost and just looking for hope. I know what it's like to be walking around and lost and just looking for hope, you know. So a lot of times I'm out there sharing the word of God with individuals, just strangers. You know, when they ask, can you buy me some food? I'll take that time to walk to the store and buy them a meal, you know, because I know how it feels to starve. So, you know, these things was not provided because of my will. I gave my will to God in 2012, and this is what God has done for me. So I praise God every day, and thank you, Arukah.
All right, now I want to hear it for Nafa. Woo! But truly, Nafa, thank you for your words. Okay, I'm going to cry, so I have to stay to the script. But your words are always powerful, and your good heart is evident. We truly appreciate you and thank God for the restoration in your life. And we know, like you said, in 2012, that was your decision to give your will and your life over to God. And we know that he's continuing to do good things and grow you. And you can brag about yourself in front of, 500 people. Next year it'll be 1,000. Is that, yeah, I think that's right.
All right.
But I have been privileged enough to know Nafa, work alongside him, work alongside Stuart and Mark as well, and the board. These are amazing people doing really, really, really intentional work. I've also depended on Nafa and worked alongside him in very chaotic and unsafe spaces within our home. We're trying to help as many men as we can, and a lot of times we have men coming to our home with more needs than we can support them in. So it's been an interesting journey, and Nafa's been there ready to go into hard situations. He's also really funny, and he's not offering coffee with you, but we like to go to IHOP, so if that sounds good
wrong.
for you.
You're throwing me under the bus.
Yeah, IHOP. It's not just 1 or 2 plates, it might be 5, so if you guys want to do that, and we can go laugh together, Nafa's really great. And again, Nafa's story is one of many. It's the current stories. You've heard the current stories of the men that we have here, but we are hoping so diligently for God to bring the right men at the right time who will fit the mold for Arukah, but most importantly, Arukah will fit the mold for them. So again, your support is really incredible through his life, through the lives of the men who I have the privilege of working with, I can clearly see the beauty of our human nature. There's only a few differences in us from another person who may be on the street, and I want to thank God specifically for giving me privileged spaces so that I can give to these people in these spaces. Our hope is that you are all a part of the work that we're doing, the restorative work, to heal, to restore, and that we continue to come together as a community in really powerful ways. If you see a person on the street in Livermore, they have names. Make that connection, give them a resource, give them a prayer, and let them know your name as well, because that is really the transformative power that we need to have in that human connection. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you
we
for
really
your support.
appreciate.
Thank you so much.
Hello, hello, hello. What a great, great dinner, right? Give it up for our help. It's beautiful. The raffle's done. Everybody's excited about getting their gifts. We were at a point in our program where we're all going to search deep in our hearts to help support an awesome program, right? We get to hear the stories. We get to see the transformation love of Christ in these men's lives, and there's really nothing like it. There's really no other organization that I know of out in this way doing this kind of work. I am honored to partner with Arukah House, although I'm from the other side of the area, doing similar work. It is restorative work, and it does nothing but honor our lives to honor Jesus in these men's lives, right? So we have a great goal tonight. Wouldn't it be awesome if next year there was another house? Right? Wouldn't it be awesome if there was 2 Arukah houses, and instead of this many men, there's this many men? That's why we're here tonight. That's what tonight is all about. It's about coming together collectively and all of us being a part of something very, very unique that is going to last 200 years. And everybody sitting here has a part in it. And there's going to be many, many ways to give. I'm going to let you take it from there.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you very much. So tonight, you've heard the stories. You've seen the videos. You've heard the transformative lives that has taken place and it continues to take place. You heard Nafa and Natessa, and what a great testimony Nafa is. He was so nervous. I'm throwing you under the bus, Nafa, but didn't he do an amazing job? I'm so proud of. I mean, he was fantastic. We do want to open up another home, and we want to be able to help more men that are coming in. And we ask this many times, right? Hey, we want to open up another home. A lot of times these dinners, they allow us to keep going with the current home that we are, and that's amazing, and we're so thankful for that. But the reality is it takes about $80,000 to $100,000 to open up a home. That's what it takes. We've budgeted out. That's what it takes. And that's our goal for tonight with the collective of this group right here and those of you that are online, that you would give so that we could open up that next house. $80,000 or $100,000. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can text. You can give a little text. You have little cards on there. I think it's Arukah to 44321. That's one way of doing it. You can, on your tables, there's a envelope, and inside that envelope are a little bit more envelopes with if you want us to enter in your credit card information, or if you want to put a check in there, or a cash, that's the place you do that, and then put it all back into the main envelope. Now, here's the thing: we have lost envelopes before because they get left on the table, and then we clean up real quick. So this is what we're going to do this year, because we don't want to lose any of the gifts that come in. They're too valuable. They're too important. I need you to designate one person at your table. Raise your hand. Raise your hand, that one designated person at your table. Designate them.
Angela, raise your hand.
That's right.
There you go.
After everyone has prayed about it, thought about it, and what they would be willing to give, I need you to put it all back into the one big envelope. And then where's Andy Byron? Where is he at? Right there. Andy, can you stand right in the back, right there? And I want you to collect that stuff and give it to Andy right away. Okay? Don't wait till the end of the night. Andy's got a box. He's our treasurer. He is a safe guy to give that to. And so right now we're going to play some music and allow you time to just think about it. And what would you give? What would you give? I always say that you can give cash. Never leave a banquet and a benefit dinner with cash in your wallet, right? So
leave lighter than you came.
It in there. That's right.
Leave lighter than you came.
So take some time. We love you, and we're thankful for you.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
I just want to thank you so much for coming. It is a joy to have you here. And if you want to get a hold of me, once again, please give me a call. So, God bless, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, God.